Once Human is set to get its brand new patch 1.4, and we have the entire patch notes detailed here for you. This is a massive sneak peek into what we're going to be seeing for January 16th. We're also going to be looking at the new content structure that we're getting, the buffs, nerfs were happening for a lot of weapons and armor, and even a deviation. Last up, of course, we'll check out some stuff from the community and some thoughts and concerns, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, world? It's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things Once Human. Okay, so let's just get right into it. We'll talk about the patch notes, everything there, all the changes and nerfs. Now, this is coming from the Chinese client and the Chinese version of the patch notes. Things are subject to always change to NA, but they never really do. Aside from cosmetics, we never really get changes from that. They've always been nearly 100%, if not 100% accurate from the Chinese client. There will also be some translation issues, but I will convert those as best as I can for you. So first, let me talk about there's a new update with the anomaly system, the roulette system, and the wheel, as well as that lunar system. That's all coming to you on January 16th. With that though, they're bringing you 3 new weapons and more equipment, which they are going to go over in much detail here. Now, they did take in some feedback with the version released on December 19th, and they have addressed a few of those here, where they've also made some adjustments to movement and even rolling speed. First up here, they do want to talk about the new content. Of course, we have those 3 new weapons here. They actually do showcase those brand new weapons in full, where this first one here is the Critical Pulse, which is that brand new crossbow that's going to trigger continuous surges generating ball lightning pulses. Really cool there. I'm glad they're experimenting with lightning here again, where they have actually showcased some footage here how that weapon is actually going to work. Looks super cool. I love the animations with this, as well as the effects. Next up here, we have the Scourge of Rage. Whereas we went over before, life is ammunition, and we can kind of see that in its showcase here. Again, they don't showcase a ton with this weapon comparative to the crossbow, but still somewhat decent overall. We'll have to see how it does play on things. And then last up but not least, we have Dangerous Goods, which is a pistol that can also be used as a bomb. Kinda cool there, some unique mechanic, does some decent AoE damage. They showcase some pretty high numbers with it, so yeah, I probably could do some decent AoE. Not sure how it will compare to Jaws, but still kind of fun that you can use that. Seems like the bomb also, or the throwable of it, does actually use ammunition, which looks like to be 5 here, 14 to 9, so that is 5 ammunition in total to throw it. Next up, we do have the armor section here, where they are adding some new armor, this first one here being called the Overloaded Lightning Pants. Now, I'm sure it's going to have a bit of a different name when it does come to the NA client, but after causing a certain number of surge damages, you will gain unlimited firepower for a short period of time. Probably akin to being able to shoot infinitely. That'd be a really cool mechanic with the crossbow. Next up here, we have the Magic Trigger Top. In the quick shooter state, shooting has a chance to trigger extra bullets, and the probability will increase as the ammunition in the current magazine decreases. That can be really strong with the Scourge of Rage. Since life reloading is ammunition, you won't be using much of your life if it's constantly reloading ammunition. We also have this next one here for special armor type that is called the Spreader Mask, where you can greatly increase the range of unstable bombs and grants increased unstable bomb damage proportionate to the range. As we know, if you do use Jaws, your damage actually does get decreased to the further back that you are, at least from a target. The closer you are, you do actually do significantly more damage. So this actually should help for that range disparity there, or at least helping overall with the damage proportionate to its range. They're also adding a brand new full set called the End of the Earth set. The first piece will be firearm damage reduction. Second piece is when your health is below 70%, you'll gain bonus firearm and abnormal damage. Abnormal more than likely just means elemental. Also for the 3-piece set, the effect of sanity value of the upper limit of health is reduced. You'll gain firepower and again abnormal or elemental damage bonus. The lower the sanity value, the higher the bonus. This seems like it's going to be insanely good for the Lunar Omen event. They also have a 4-piece set here, gain a shield when your health is low. So yeah, I'm sure everybody's going to be rocking this, or at least have one set of this when the Lunar Omen event does kick in. We also got some brand new mods here to combat everything. First up is the Arms Symphony. Now, it says arms here, but this is a head module or a head mod. You'll gain degraded bonus to fire rate and gun damage after swapping weapons. There's also going to be one called Quick Throw. After using a projectile, gain a rate of fire bonus and reload part of the magazine from your previous handheld. So some weapon swaps there and quick throws. This definitely will play into part with that pistol. We have some upper body modules here, definitely needed in that category. There's going to be one here, shield protection. You gain additional damage reduction when in shield state. So as we've seen here with the 4-piece set here, the End of the Earth set, this is definitely going to toy and play into that. The damage received at a single time cannot penetrate the shield. This is huge here. This is going to, again, play into that lunar event and that lunar event set. We also have some lower body mods here. one called the Elemental Resonance, where you'll gain a bonus to the elemental damage of the next magazine based on the amount of elemental damage dealt by the previous magazine. So if you have some reload mechanics here, this could play in really well. There's also Critical Surge. Reloading with an empty chamber gains critical damage bonus, which can be stacked. We'll have to see how high that can be stacked. They don't designate that here. Next up, we have the Shoes mods. First one here, Fighting Will and Adversity. Gain Firearm and Abnormal Elemental Damage bonus for taking damage, which can be stacked. Abnormal damage might also be referring to sanity loss, although more than likely it is elemental damage. We'll have to see how that actually does come into fruition. Next mod here is Strength of Strength. When you consume stamina, you will gain bonus firearm and abnormal damage. The lower stamina, the higher the bonus. So if you're someone that likes to roll a lot or use a lot of your stamina, this could play in very well. And they're also adding some Lunar Omen mod suffixes. In this scenario with the Blood Moon tag, you can obtain modules with unique suffixes through the Moon Omen chest obtained in the open world. Now this is applicable to the head and the upper body. The suffix effect also as health decreases critical damage, elemental damage, gun damage, abnormal damage. They do have it listed here differently. I'm not sure what they mean by abnormal damage. Again, we'll have to see what that is. I guess it's not elemental damage. So whatever that translation does play into, we'll have to see. And other attribute bonuses can be gained. Now that's all the new content coming. We are also going to be receiving a balance update. Now there's some massive changes here. I'm going to go over the major ones. We'll also talk about how they do play in. So the first one here is they slightly reduce the damage coefficient of the Red Dragon Explosion. Now the Red Dragon I do believe is actually the Pyro Deviation, as their damage multiplier did get nerfed. There's also a buff here where they increase the damage coefficient provided by the Delayed Unstable Bomb of the White Shark or Jaws. More than likely this is pertaining to the Little Jaws, as usually the build is around Little Jaws. They also increased the damage of the Predator after continuous attacks on the target and retained a certain number of layers after switching targets. This one here is a massive nerf, where they say here the ejection coefficient bonus of Roar, which is actually bounce, and the precision ejection is incredibly too high. So that is actually pertaining to the KVD boom. They're going to update it to the correct text and slightly reduce the coefficient bonus. So that multiplier there is going to be significantly nerfed. Now they do mention that this does not represent the final adjustments, and they will make further adjustments and optimizations after testing on the co-research server. Again, this is like their test server, but I believe it's only with the Chinese client. So there still might be some updated stuff. That's why it hasn't come to NA just yet. So these are subject to change, but more than likely this will be the final representation. We'll have to wait and see there. When we do get the NA version, I will let you guys know. Moving on though, we do have the rolling speed and movement speed adjustments. They mention here that certain drinks where they have a spood bonus are only effective for some behaviors such as jump height. However, it will be adjusted to apply to other attributes. They've also added a display of sprint speed bonus and rolling speed bonus in the attribute panel, and they've adjusted the upper limit of movement speed bonuses. The upper limit of the movement speed bonus is 20 to 30%, where now the upper limit of sprint speed will also be increased to 20 to 40%. And the upper limit of rolling speed has been a little bit decreased there from 100 to 60%. They mention that the current speed attribute takes effect. The movement speed bonus is effective for all movement states. The sprint bonus is effective for sprint state, and the character's current speed will be partially inherited when rolling, so that should increase the initial speed of the roll. They mention here that since many components in the game provide movement speed bonuses, it cannot be further added after reaching the upper limit. In addition, to make the player's collection and cultivation effective, the adjustment will increase the upper limit of movement speed bonus to 30%. Considering that there will still be overflows of movement speed bonuses provided by some components, they'll adjust some attributes and some component placements to other acceleration attributes. You've seen some videos, people get insane speeds there. So they have kind of buffed, but they've also capped the movement speed. Still, I think a decent change, as some people just have insane movement speeds right now, especially with certain builds, so I understand the change there. We also have a ton of different changes here with certain effects and their bonuses. So now some changes here like Iced Tea. The original effect was rolling speed increased by 25%, moving speed was increased by 20% within 2 seconds of the rolling. However, now the rolling speed will increase by 25%, and within 2 seconds of rolling or after rolling, the rolling speed will be increased by an additional 10%. This will no longer apply to movement speed. Some other things like the Honey Brew will also only increase sprint speed now, and not all action speed. So there are some changes here overall to movement speed and just movement speed caps, kind of decreasing that down as people were just getting a little bit way too advanced with that, and some of the builds were just out of hand. That should cover it for the 1.4 patch notes, what we're seeing over there with the caps, with the new armor system, some new buffs and nerfs. One of the last minute mentionables here is they are doing another mobile test. Now this might only be for the Chinese client, we don't know for sure. Now over there they do have the Spring Festival approaching, and they're going to be launching an 8-day limited test. More than likely, again, this is probably just limited to Chinese channels and Chinese clients. As they mentioned, phones like Huawei and Oppo, which some of them are banned here in the US. Although they do also mention the App Store and even the official website. They do mention that there's going to be some limited time cosmetics from this. More than likely, NA will get a test after this. Gotta keep you guys updated on that. This is running from January 10th to the 17th, so more than likely January 9th to the 16th for NA. But again, more than likely probably not going to be for the NA client and NA players, or really any other region. They do mention that this test is limited to pre-registration, so if you haven't already, I'll include a link down below to pre-register. But again, we'll have to see if this is region limited. As a last minute mentionable here, I am giving away 4 glass packs. So if you don't already have the glass cosmetics for your housing, I am actually giving those away on my Discord. Now, as always, they are very easy to enter my giveaways. You just have to head to the giveaways channel and click in. However, this time I am giving away 2 packs to my most loyal or at least most active members. And then I'm also giving away 2 glass packs to anybody. The only difference there is you have to earn level 1 in my Discord. It is super easy too, you just have to type a few messages. Now there is a cooldown timer there, so please don't spam. But essentially it's like 5 to 10 messages to earn the level 1 rank. So I have implemented a leveling system into my Discord to reward loyal members and people that are active within the community. But if you don't want to interact with any of that, you can enter into the one giveaway that doesn't require any level there. Again, all it is typing a few messages in the Discord chat. Nothing too crazy there, but if you don't want to interact with Discord at all, you can enter into the one that doesn't require a level over my Discord. Overall, that should be covered for today's video. If you like and subscribe, and into the next one. Deuces.